to reveal their likely cause of death. Hayley Francis, NBN News.
Qantas says it's yet to be contacted by anyone claiming to have the customer details stolen in a cyber attack this week that's affected up to 6 million people. CEO Vanessa Hudson has spoken in Athens, promising a further update next week.
What we will be able to tell customers next week is what specific data that pertains to them was potentially breached in this event, and so that is going to be something that we can continue to do, is to communicate to our customers and support them through this process.
Ms Hudson says compensation or possible legal action are not her focus at the moment. Around 50 people were evacuated from the Costco outlet at Lake Macquarie late this afternoon after a compressor failed, releasing carbon dioxide in the air. Firefighters were called to the Bullery warehouse shortly before 4 p.m. Crews soon rendered the site safe and say no one was hurt. The Prime Minister says he'll be calling on businesses, big and small, to rescue the economy and drive growth during his government's second term. But Anthony Albanese isn't keen on taking economists' advice to overhaul the GST.
2 months since his big election victory, Anthony Albanese is promising to think big.
To prove the practical value of a reforming government.
Next month, the PM will be chairing a 3-day summit, a select few tasked with thrashing out ways of squeezing more from the economy.
And no government should imagine it has a monopoly on good ideas.
The only plan they have is to have a meeting to talk about what to do.
One measure of the PM's appetite for reform is whether he seriously entertains changes to the GST, which has significant support among economists. Compared to other advanced economies, Australia generates double the revenue from income taxes and half as much from value-added taxes like the GST.
We need to realign that and get more from the GST and less from income taxes.
Economist Richard Holden's proposal is to lift the 10% GST rate to 15% and cut income tax at the same time, while giving every worker a $12,500 GST-free threshold to make sure lower income earners are better off.
The GST and taxes like it are a much more efficient way of raising revenue, that they do less damage to productivity and the economy.
So is this the sort of idea the PM would actively contemplate?
No, it's not something that we have given any consideration to.
Which sounds like a no. Andrew Probyn, NBN News.
It's no secret the Hunter is on the verge of a major shift as coal makes way for renewable energy. And today there was a big step forward, with the Energy Minister helping unveil the final design of Australia's most advanced clean energy precinct, which is planned for Newcastle.
It's unused land, once a toxic waste dump for BHP on Kooragang Island, now capped and remediated. And the 220-hectare site is to play a vital role in producing and exporting renewable energy.
This is the most significant clean energy precinct of any port in Australia, hands down.
The final design unfurled today with the help of 2 cranes. Formerly earmarked for a 4th coal terminal, the site is expected to accommodate various clean energy projects, including ammonia and hydrogen. The federal government investing $100 million.
The Port of Newcastle has been the world's largest coal export port for many years, as everyone here knows. But that economy is going to change, and so we need to set the Port of Newcastle up for the future, for success.
And there's already interest from Germany, Korea and Japan. A journalist from Tokyo flying in for the announcement.
Our vision is in the morning, a coal ship will leave here for Tokyo Bay, and in the afternoon, a hydrogen ship will leave here for Tokyo Bay.
The Port of Newcastle hopes construction will begin in 2027 after planning approvals.
Newcastle is the best place in terms of the skilled workforce. We're going to show not just this nation but the world how we do transition.
Also announced during the minister's visit to the region,
Orica at Kooragang Island is going green hydrogen. in partnership with the Albanese government, so a $432 million commitment from us.
Orica awarded the massive sum for its Hunter Valley hydrogen hub. It comes after Origin Energy pulled the plug last year, arguing the hydrogen market is developing more slowly than anticipated. Jane Goldsmith, NBN News.
A near-new boat ramp at Cooks Hill Surf Club, which cost at least $1.5 million, is now unusable. Recent big seas have washed away sand and rocks beneath it, and the club says the damage is hampering rescue efforts.
We just can't launch our IRB. The ramp itself is now about a metre and a half off the sand itself, so it's a physical impossibility for us to actually launch any sort of rescue operations at this point in time.
Newcastle Council has set up fences in the area, and the club hopes sand replenishment will be the next step. One of Lake Macquarie's worst pinch points is about to get a multi-million-dollar makeover. Plans to ease traffic at the Spears Point roundabout have been revealed, with the state government now seeking community feedback.
A bottleneck pushing locals' patience.
Dual lanes here, then it goes back to single lane, and single lane the other side.
Heading from in town out that way, it's just backed up all the way past to Bunnings and back to the club.
Now, after years of campaigning, plans for a solution to congestion at the Spears Point roundabout, where traffic from Lake Macquarie's southern, northern and eastern suburbs meet.
Community feedback, and particularly from Greg, was that we needed to put some metering in the roundabout.
In a $16 million overhaul, access to the roundabout from Creek Reserve Road will close, and there'll be lights during peak periods.
It will stop the rat running here, and cars will be directed up to the traffic lights.
An extra turning lane will be added to TC Frith Avenue for those heading onto the Esplanade, while a shared pathway will run from Creek Reserve Road to TC Frith, all designed to transform what locals say can also be a dangerous intersection.
I've seen a couple of crashes there from people trying to split little gaps to try and just take a minute out of the journey.
Ironically, when we have a premier here, there was an accident just up the road.
The project also caters for Lake Macquarie's accelerating population, tipped to grow by 12,000 over the next 20 years.
This particular roundabout is key for the Hunter, not just for the local traffic, but there's such a big sports precinct in this area.
The plans are now up for public exhibition on the state government's Have Your Say website until July 28, and at this stage the project is expected to be completed by mid-next year. Locals now waiting to see what impact it all has.
Until they get dual carriageway right through, maybe bypass Toronto, we're always going to have an issue.
Gabriella Warner, NBN News.
Health authorities say flu cases have risen by 58% in a week in the Hunter, New England district, and the virus is at a high level statewide. Across New South Wales, it's up 52% for women and 48% for men, according to the latest respiratory surveillance report. While in Hunter, New England, lab-confirmed cases reached 487 for the week ending June 28. COVID cases statewide are at a moderate level and stable. Mayfield West Public School marked a milestone today, its centenary. Hundreds turned out for the celebrations, which included a documentary on the school's history. Also on display, old class photos and disciplinary books, while some of the school's earliest students also shared memories like evacuation drills during World War II.
We always used to have to carry our haversack, with our emergency equipment. We had flags on bit long poles and had to stop the traffic going to the BHP because this was the main road at that stage.
A special possum fur cloak was also made for the anniversary by local Indigenous artists and students. Let's take a quick look at the temperatures across the region today. A welcome return to sunshine. Newcastle 18. You're watching NBN News. Still ahead, Donald Trump hits another roadblock in his bid to end the Ukraine war. An airport arrest over an alleged spiritual blessing scam targeting the elderly. And Liverpool's lasting tribute to Diogo Jota.
With Light and Easy, you're cooking less, eating better and getting great results.
With Light and Easy, I've lost 43 kilos. Troy's lost 53 kilos. It was great because you didn't have to do the work yourself. There was no meal prepping, no grocery shopping. You just grab and go.
Enjoy healthy and delicious award-winning meals delivered to your door. No shopping, no cooking, no stress.
Light and Easy is a great investment for health, happiness and a happy life. I feel absolutely amazing. I feel like a new person.
Live a healthier, better life with Light and Easy.
Mid-season sale is on now, with up to 40% off selected leather and fabric sofas, recliners and armchairs. Save up to 40% off at the Plush mid-season sale. On now.
Think so fast, think Plush.
Beacon's end of financial year stocktake sale has been extended with store-wide savings on lights, fans and more. Don't miss your second chance. Beacon's end of financial year stocktake sale now ends next Sunday.
Toyota. The working life. You wake up, you work, you get paid. You wake up, you work, you get paid. Until one day, you wake up to a whole new rhythm and still get paid. Aware Super helps you find your rhythm of retirement. That's super helpful.
When it comes to marketing your business, television is the ultimate influencer because with TV advertising, it's all about the big picture. 100% of the screen, 100% focused on your business. And with 9NBN, you can reach more people more often, and that means more customers. We'll work direct with you to create a professionally produced commercial and effective advertising campaign to target the right audience for bigger impact. Get results. Contact us at 9nbn.com.au.
Explore the new Everyday Collection by McDonald Jones with over 40 designs to choose from and all the little luxuries already included. It's inspired Australian living every day.
More than 80 people have been killed in Gaza over the past 24 hours as the IDF intensifies its campaign in the enclave. Gaza's Civil Defence Agency says 15 of the victims died while waiting for aid. It comes as one person was killed and at least 3 others injured in an Israeli strike on Lebanon's capital. Donald Trump's celebrating a major win in Congress with the passing of his so-called Big Beautiful Bill, legislation that could define his presidency. But his promise to broker a deal to end the war in Ukraine continues to hit roadblocks.
Donald Trump in his element, a rally in Iowa. The US president basking in the glow of his signature budget legislation, officially scraping through the House. The so-called Big Beautiful Bill passing on the eve of America's Independence Day.
There could be no better birthday present for America than the phenomenal victory we achieved.
A hard-fought win. The bill will cut social safety net programs, extend tax cuts and boost military spending.
Deport the illegals and slash hundreds of billions of dollars of waste and fraud, and that's what we're doing.
But there's one issue not going Trump's way. The war in Ukraine.
I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy.
Russian attacks have been unrelenting. Fresh strikes hit Kyiv within hours of Trump's latest phone call with the Russian President Vladimir Putin.
No, I didn't make any progress with him today at all.
The conversation lasted nearly 60 minutes. It's the 6th time the leaders have spoken on the phone.
So help me God. So help me God.
Close to 6 months after Trump returned to the White House. In the lead up to the election, he'd famously claimed he could end the war in Ukraine in one day. And today, the Commander-in-Chief again called for a speedy resolution to the conflict.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed with the conversation I had today with President Putin. I don't think he's looking to stop.
The only concession, the Russian president did say he was willing to negotiate further with Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky, who has been meeting European leaders in Denmark.
We supported from the very beginning the idea of President Trump, unconditional ceasefire. I said it not once that we are ready for any kind of format of meeting.
Russia wants to keep the land its army has seized and the West to stop helping Ukraine. In recent days, the US has paused a series of weapons shipments, but Europe is stepping up.
We will deliver 2 million shells to Ukraine by the end of the year.
Trump will hit the phones again tomorrow when he calls Volodymyr Zelensky. In the United States, Reed Butler, NBN News. He wore number 20 as Liverpool won its 20th title. Now the club has announced Diogo Jota's number will be retired following his death in a car crash. From royalty to politicians, tributes have flowed for the Portuguese star, the news sending shockwaves through world football.
In May, Liverpool fans gathered at Anfield Stadium to celebrate the club's Premier League win. Now they come to mourn. Diogo Jota, just 28, killed after the tyre blew out on his Lamborghini, the car crashing and bursting into flames in northwestern Spain. The star footballer and his brother were driving from Portugal to catch a ferry to the UK. Diogo set to return to pre-season training, doctors telling him not to fly after recently having surgery. 2 weeks ago, Diogo married his childhood sweetheart, posting his wedding video to social media just hours before his death. The couple have 3 young children.
This is devastating news.
From his Portuguese teammate Cristiano Ronaldo, it doesn't make sense. Just now we were together in the national team. Just now you had gotten married. Prince William also paying tribute. I am deeply saddened. Our thoughts are with his family, friends and all who knew him. Liverpool supporters who didn't know him but felt they did are shattered.
You don't know these people personally, but when you do lose somebody in this fashion, it's devastating.
Devastating, absolute devastation.
Floral tributes are building at the club, where fans have erupted into spontaneous renditions of Liverpool's adopted anthem, You'll Never Walk Alone. Liverpool will retire Diogo Jota's number 20 in his honour. In London, Jessica Millward, NBN News.
3 Chinese nationals are behind bars tonight over an alleged spiritual blessing scam targeting elderly Asian women across Sydney. Police claim a syndicate has preyed upon dozens of innocent victims since 2023, fleecing millions in cash and jewellery.
No evil spirits, just the law catching up with Yui Ruan, stopped by Border Force at Sydney Airport before being whisked away by police. The 63-year-old Chinese national charged with taking $130,000 in valuables off a 77-year-old woman at Parramatta last month, all part of an alleged scam being run out of China, preying on elderly women here, turning their trust into treasure.
It's netting the offenders over $3 million in cash and jewellery. They're best described as FIFO criminals. They'll fly in, they'll prey on the vulnerable in their own community.
3 unidentified women captured here swarming a 73-year-old woman at Blacktown in October last year before allegedly convincing her to hand over $30,000 worth of jewellery. The scammers allegedly work in packs, convincing older women to hand over money and jewellery to be cleansed of evil spirits. The valuables then swapped out for other items and given back inside a bag the victims are encouraged not to open for some time. Meanwhile, the alleged offenders flee back to China.
It's almost like it's a robbery by stealth.
80 elderly women have reportedly fallen victim since 2023, preyed upon right across Sydney, including Hornsby, Burwood, Ryde and Parramatta. Police say Ruan is among at least 50 people involved in this alleged spiritual swindling syndicate. A man was also arrested at Brisbane Airport last night and another man remains in custody in New Zealand.
They swarm like a pack of hyenas.
Erin Ramsey, NBN News.
The school holiday rush started early at Sydney Airport today as it faced one of its busiest days of the year. More than 2.6 million passengers are expected to pass through the terminals during the break, with more families choosing local escapes instead of heading overseas.
A good 57% are making the very terrific choice to stay here in Australia and see a little bit more of their own backyard.
And police are tonight urging families to take extra caution on the roads, with 191 lives lost in New South Wales so far this year. Coming up next, the incredible race against time to save a woman from a burning unit. Is stretching before exercise really that good for you? The surprise results of a new study. And a Quentin Tarantino favourite gone. Hollywood star Michael Madsen dies, aged 67.
Try Hungry Jack's new Bacon Gravy Whopper. Flame-grilled Aussie beef, sizzling bacon and rich, rich gravy. Part of the new Aussie Pub Classic range. Cheers, legends. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Attention Aldi shoppers, these aren't just low prices.
It's a sale!
It's not a sale. Our prices are just this low every day.
Yes, it's an everyday sale!
I think there's a sale.
No, it's not an everyday sale. It's just our price.
It's not an everyday sale!
It's not an everyday sale. No, there's no sale. There's no sale. Just low prices every day at Aldi. Good different.
The Nick Scali Lounge sale is on now, with up to 50% off leather and fabric lounges for every kind of home. That's affordable design for everyone. On now at Nick Scali.
The limited release Isuzu D-Max Blade. Our toughest D-Max yet. Built for some of the toughest terrain on Earth. Built for Australia. Built for us.
Your home is precious, so are the things inside. And keeping them safe shouldn't cost a fortune. Quote and buy your home and contents insurance online with GIO, and you can save 10% on your first year premium. Get a quote today.
Go Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Hot deals on air fryers, like this Russell Hobbs bestseller. Now only $67, save 50%. Hot deals on hard floor cleaners. Save $70 on this cordless Bissell. Now only $577. Hot deals on washers, like this energy-efficient Whirlpool 8-kilo front loader, now under $600. Hot deals on super king-size TVs. This 98-inch Samsung, now under $4,000, save over $1,000. Best prices guaranteed. 10 days of deals at Harvey Norman. On now.
Go! Get the power of Tyre Power's big winter sale.
Get great grip on the winter roads and get one free when you buy 3 of these Falcon tyres.
For a safer drive this winter.
Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent.
Jason Aldean. Full Throttle World Tour. Touring Australia, February 2026. Tickets and information at livenation.com.au.
Go Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Capri 4-seater fabric sofa with chaise, adjustable headrests, storage ottoman and sofa bed, just $2,499. Nelson 7-piece dining suite, run-out deal, just $1,299. Lennox queen bed, amazing value at just $649. Olivia 2-drawer queen bed with LED lighting and USB charging, only $1899. Plus bonus standard local delivery on selected bedding purchases. And up to 30% off our great range of wool rugs. Best prices guaranteed. 10 days of deals at Harvey Norman. On now.
It's heart-stopping footage. Police desperately trying to force their way into a burning Queensland unit to save someone trapped inside. We can show you their race against time and the incredible escape that followed.
Charging in to a hellish inferno, confronted by the unthinkable.
Is there someone in there? Yes, I just heard someone screaming in here.
There's a woman trapped inside this apartment, and right now there's no way out.
Stand back, stand back. That's not going to break.
The door holds firm, but the wall doesn't stand a chance. Guided by her desperate screams for help, the officer's body-worn cameras capturing every chaotic second from every angle. This close to the flames, there's no time to lose. Bins are flung aside, they're fighting thick smoke. Putting their own lives on the line, they're rewarded by this moment.
Where are you? Come here for me.
A hand emerges from the darkened doorway. The brave officers reaching the resident, quickly pulling her clear and guiding her out to safety. It's all over in a matter of minutes, but this video shows just how quickly the situation escalated. Police were the first to arrive at the 6-unit complex in Townsville overnight, quickly clearing everybody out before mounting their desperate rescue mission. The 54-year-old woman treated for minor smoke inhalation along with some of her saviours. The focus now turning to the cause of the fire. Police say it started in one unit before spreading to another. Ultimately, it wasn't deadly, but it is being treated as suspicious. Police are appealing for anyone with relevant dash camera or CCTV footage to come forward. Anna Rawlings, NBN News.
4 people have been killed and 14 others injured in Chicago after a record release party became the target of a drive-by shooting. It happened as people were leaving a nightclub at around 11 p.m. The victims are all aged in their mid-20s. Prolific actor Michael Madsen has died of a cardiac arrest at his home in California. He carved out a 4-decade-long career in Hollywood, appearing in more than 300 movies and television shows since the early 80s. A frequent collaborator with Quentin Tarantino, Madsen appeared in 5 of his films, including Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill. He was 67. Confirmation today that actor Orlando Bloom and singer Katy Perry have split. Representatives say they've been shifting their relationship to focus on co-parenting, and their priority now is raising their 4-year-old daughter with love, stability and mutual respect. They've been engaged since 2019. Stretching has been a staple pre- and post-exercise for as long as we can remember, but there are surprising new findings about its actual benefits. Health reporter Gabriella Rogers has the details.
Hot off the press are new recommendations by a panel of 20 experts from around the world, including 2 from Australia. The experts reviewed all the evidence on stretching, a common ritual before and after exercise. The aim of the review to dispel common myths and tease out the actual benefits.
There's been a lot of confusion and contradictions about whether stretching's useful or not. And I think particularly in the last 20, 30 years, it's really fallen out of favour.
There is little or no evidence to show that stretching is good for injury prevention, improves posture and increases recovery after exercise. So for those reasons, it's not recommended. But it is recommended for improving range of motion, reducing muscle stiffness and may promote cardiovascular health, but more research is needed.
So it's something that really can help you to feel more free in your movement, and certainly can provide other benefits to the body when you think about its effects on the nervous system and the cardiovascular system.
While the advice targets coaches, therapists and athletes, the authors say stretching remains important for general health and for those who are inactive.
Interest rate cuts appear to be helping Australians stress less, according to new data. Here's finance editor Chris Kohler.
The ASX heads into the weekend within reach of last month's record highs, despite today being a steady one. Wesfarmers and ANZ outperformed while CBA and BHP were on the outer, and Domino's Pizza clawed back a little ground but remains 40% lower for the year. The Australian dollar slipped today, buying 65 US cents and 55 euro cents. And finally, some good news. Australians are feeling a lot better about things. The quarterly consumer stress index today showed the lowest and therefore best result in 2 years. Solid job security and falling interest rates are the key factors, and spirits could lift even further with another rate cut expected on Tuesday. So if you're feeling optimistic, then you're not alone. In fact, you're part of a statistical trend.
New South Wales RFS Commissioner Rob Rogers has called time on a career spanning half a century. Today, he revealed his toughest challenge, rebuilding after the horror Black Summer bushfires.
Those that know him best say he always hated the spotlight. Well, today, with all eyes on Rob Rogers, he cracked a smile, taking his last steps as the New South Wales Rural Fire Service Commissioner.
It's quite an emotional day, 45 years in the RFS, so it's an end of a chapter for me.
And what a chapter it's been. 5 years in the top job, taking over after the horror of Black Summer. The mammoth 7-month battle where more than 2,000 homes burnt to the ground across our state and 25 people lost their lives. including firefighters.
Do that rebuilding after that was probably, one of the most difficult things I've done.
45 years of service that started as a volunteer at the Belrose Rural Fire Brigade before joining the paid ranks in Taree. He was Deputy Commissioner for 9 years before taking over from Shane Fitzsimmons.
Time for me to spend a bit more time with family and doing some other things that I've unfortunately not being able to do, being on call all the time.
I've been really proud of him through his whole journey with his career.
But before this chapter ends, there's still time for one final ride. Alex Ike, NBN News.
Time for sport now with Montanna Clare and Tan. The Knights women have kicked off their season.
Good evening, Tash. They have, and it's been a tense opening half against the Bulldogs in Sydney. But Newcastle has struck the first blow. Latest action next. Plus, from the ball to the barbershop, Angus Crichton shows us his side hustle ahead of the Origin decider, and Gunnedar's Harry Wilson to lead the Wallabies in Newcastle.
Super specials have landed at Beaumont's end of financial year super sale. Prices slashed on every tile. Tiles for walls, floors, outdoor, plus super specials 50% off. Only at Beaumont's super sale.
I'm snapping now and saying cheese, so they get inspired about that.
Hearing Australia, Reader's Digest's most trusted hearing brand 4 years running, is offering free 15-minute hearing checks for adults and $0 fully subsidised hearing aids for eligible pensioners.
Hearing Australia.
The Nick Scali Lounge sale is on now, with up to 50% off leather and fabric lounges for every kind of home. That's affordable design for everyone. On now at Nick Scali.
This is what pre-flight mornings look like around here. Doing the coffee run, not the M1. Finding yourself the perfect park. So go on, take your pick from over 250 flights a week from Newcastle Airport. Ah, that's the Newy way.
Your home is precious, so are the things inside. And keeping them safe shouldn't cost a fortune. Quote and buy your home and contents insurance online with GIO, and you can save 10% on your first year premium. Get a quote today.
With Light and Easy, you're cooking less, eating better, and getting great results.
You don't have to worry about calorie counting or weighing your food. Everything's there. Light and Easy makes you feel amazing.
Enjoy a healthier, better life with Light and Easy.
Moving home? Make your next move a good move. Done. With Energy Australia, you can move your energy online in minutes and get power on the day you move. Book your move online today.
Chicken breasts. So perfect. So versatile they can do anything. Like this and that. Oh, look at them. Now only $9.49 per kilo for a bulk pack. Aldi. Good different.
Jason Aldean. Full Throttle World Tour. Touring Australia, February 2026. Tickets and information at livenation.com.au.
Go Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Capri 4-seater fabric sofa with chaise, adjustable headrests, storage ottoman and sofa bed just $2,499. Nelson 7-piece dining suite, run out deal just $12,999. Lennox queen bed, amazing value at just $649. Olivia 2-drawer queen bed with LED lighting and USB charging only $18,999. Plus bonus standard local delivery on selected bedding purchases and up to 30% off our great range of wool rugs. Best prices guaranteed. 10 days of deals at Harvey Norman. On now.
Tonight's code word is Maroons. Enter at nbnnews.com.au for your chance to win.
The Knights NRLW season has got off to a tense start in Sydney. Newcastle taking on competition newcomers, the Bulldogs, at a course stadium. After a scoreless opening 15, it was Knights 5'8" George Roach who got the visitors on the board first, crashing through Canterbury's defence. But the Dogs took a 4-point buffer into the break and still lead 10-6. Last night, the Eels caused a major upset in the season opener. Fielding 5 rookies, Parramatta proved too good for last year's grand finalist Cronulla. Halfback Rachel Pearson, the standout in the 18-16 victory. In the NRL, Lachlan Galvin's move to Canterbury has forced Toby Sexton out. He's signed with Catalan Dragons in the Super League. The Bulldogs take on the resurgent Broncos at Accor Stadium tonight. Emma Lawrence and Alana Ferguson have the late mail.
Thank you very much. Big night tonight here at Accor Stadium, and Alana Ferguson, a big one for Toby Sexton off the back of news that he's heading to Catalans in the Super League. Do you imagine he'll be a little bit emotional tonight?
Look, I think the fact that they're playing at home, the biggest thing for me is Toby Sexton now knows his future. He knows where he's going. So if it were me out there, I'd feel much more settled knowing what my future looks like. Ever since Lachie Galvin was discussed about coming to the Dogs and when he officially signed, a lot would have been up in the air. So I think Toby's in a really good position now where he truly can just focus on his footy, and being at home, there's no better place to do it.
Selwyn Cobbo back in first grade for the Broncos. Will he have a point to prove?
Oh, without a doubt. Reece Walsh, he's 18th man for Queensland, so that gives Selwyn Cobbo the opportunity. I don't know that fullback is his best position, but he's certainly a strike weapon. He's a different fullback to Reece Walsh, but I think if Selwyn Cobbo gets his effort areas tonight, then he'll have a great game for the Broncos.
Big game this evening, coverage from 7:30.
Angus Crichton is best known for slicing through defensive lines, but he's also making a name for himself cutting hair. The Blues back rower preparing for life after footy by opening barbershops.
Angus Crichton is a big part of the Bondi community.
Say hello to the camera.
The Blues and Roosters back rower has even got his own barber shop.
We've got a special guest inside. Come follow me, we'll see who's coming in for a cut. And he's bought his dog as well. Not many people bring their dogs in the store, so come see him.
Angus.
Danny, how are you?
Mate, thanks for having me in your shop.
What's the dog's name?
Taylor.
How are you, Taylor? You good?
You're a natural,
all right,
mate.
what are we doing here, Danny?
Can you improve me?
I don't know if I can improve you.
I think you can.
But I can have a crack.
Yeah. Are you an actual hairdresser? Like,
I'm self-taught, self-qualified, but...
Should I be nervous?
Nah, I can do a job.
Angus wanted to take it a step further.
Here we go, the cutthroat.
No, you can keep that away from me.
Doesn't want the cutthroat.
No, thank you.
Can you blame him? I don't know.
Crichton's Bondi store is thriving, and he'll open another one in Darlinghurst later this year.
Now, I've got to ask you a controversial question.
That's unlike you, Danny.
What do you think of the mullet? It's like there's quite a few mullets going around.
I'm not a fan, mate. I've run the mullet back in the day, mate. I'm just lucky to have hair on my head, still. So.
At 29, Angus is starting to look towards the future.
I think it's always fun to have something different outside of sport, and yeah, everyone knows that you can't play sport forever, and you do have to look to the future. So hopefully it's still a while away for me, but I think setting myself up post-footy is definitely something that I think about.
Right now, he's only thinking about Wednesday night.
Yeah, decider. You don't want to let these opportunities slip, I think. We let a huge opportunity slip for ourselves there in game 2. We had a chance to create a bit of history there, and we missed it, so we definitely won't be missing it again.
Danny Weidler, NBN News.
The first Wallabies team of 2025 has been named, and it will be captained by Gunnedar's Harry Wilson. The side to face Fiji at McDonald Jones Stadium on Sunday will be a mix of new and familiar faces, one of those a local junior. Back in the Hunter, Nick White is relishing his time at home.
To be able to bring a test match up here and, like I said, not just flying for a test, but spend a bit over a week here and be able to mix and mingle. Got up there to the Maitland Juniors during the week, and they loved that.
The Maitland Junior named on the bench to replace scrum half Tate McDermott.
Man, I'm pumped. I can't wait for Sunday. I've been chomping at the bit, but to be honest, I've been treating any test I've been a part of for a bit over the last 12 months as potentially my last, and that's the reality of how strong the competition is around my position.
Gunnedar's Harry Wilson will lead the Wallabies, Coach Joe Schmidt singing his praises.
You can just see in Harry and sense that he's almost got this passion to play for his country that is contagious.
For hooker Dave Parecki, it's more than 600 days since he was in green and gold, a break forced by injury.
600.
Yeah, apparently.
God. The number makes it feel a bit longer, but yeah, it was last year was a difficult year for me, 24.
He last played in the 2023 World Cup and skippered the side against Fiji and says this Wallabies team couldn't be more different.
Definitely coming in, you could feel how connected the group was, and watching last year, you could definitely see it. I didn't even need to be in the group to see that.
Joseph Suoli'i was today soaking up the atmosphere ahead of his first Wallabies test on home soil. And while the Lions tour looms large, Parecki maintains there's only one focus at the moment.
My headspace is that Fiji don't care that it's a Lions series coming on. So the most important thing for us is to perform, and you know, we've got a test match ahead on Sunday.
The SCG will be ready to host the Swans Fremantle clash on Sunday. Curator Adam Lewis firing back at critics of the stadium's surface. Swans coach Dean Cox says he has no concerns ahead of the must-win match. After the break, Bo Webster and Alex Carey saved the day in the second test, and Australia's two biggest hopes advance at Wimbledon.
Fantastic Furniture's biggest end of financial year sale has been extended. Thousands of sofas, mattresses, beds and more are still on sale. Hurry, it won't last forever. Shop in store or online. Find your Fantastic.
Discover Grand Europe, on sale from $9,699 per person, including flights. Visit 13 countries and explore Barcelona's vibrant streets, Paris's iconic landmarks and more. Search Tripadeal now.
What does it take to be a master? Determination, creativity, obsession. Excellence by the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Andy, can't stop, Ashwin. Loan application time.
Applying for a loan isn't as hard as you think. With an easy online application, ANZ GoBiz is the loan without the groan. Search ANZ GoBiz.
It sure is dry out there, mate. Whew.
Should have gone to Tank World.
Tankaroo deals on our best-selling 2 and 5,000 litre slim tanks. Sale for 10 days only at Tank World.
The Plush mid-season sale is on now, with up to 40% off selected leather and fabric sofas, recliners and armchairs. Save up to 40% off at the Plush mid-season sale. On now.
Think so fast, think Plush.
There's something I'll tell you for sure. Not a lie, it's almost law. This Land Cruiser drives us home.
Toyota.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
You push yourself to perform. So do we. For over 25 years, investors have trusted Trilogy funds to maximise income while preserving capital. So for income performance, invest with Trilogy funds.
Go Harvey Norman. Shop mobiles and computers with no deposit 36 months interest free on a participating Latitude credit card and get a bonus gift card up to $400. Update your tech with no deposit 36 months interest free from Latitude and get a bonus $50 gift card for every $500 you spend. New customers must be approved. Minimum financed amount $500. T's and C's, charges and exclusions apply. Equal monthly payment plan and monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. Don't miss no deposit 36 months interest free from Latitude at Harvey Norman now.
Explore the new Everyday Collection by McDonald Jones with over 40 designs to choose from and all the little luxuries already included. It's inspired Australian living every day.
This report brought to you by McDonald Jones, building the Australian dream for over 38 years.
After a slow start, Alex de Minaur has charged into the third round at Wimbledon, downing Frenchman Arthur Cazot. Daria Katsukina is also through, the adopted Aussie winning in 3 sets.
At a tournament where the seeds have wilted in the London heat, dropping the first set had de Minaur on high alert. He responded in style.
How good was that? He made it look easy.
The longer the match went on, the more the Australian toyed with his opponent. The fourth set over in a flash without De Minaur dropping a game. A new mental approach paying big dividends.
Rather than living and dying by the end results, I'm trying to be nicer to myself out there.
After winning the first set, Daria Kasatkina quickly discovered she had a fight on her hands. Romanian Irina Carmelia Begu levelling the contest.
Yes, what a dry volley that was.
But in fading light, late on day 4, Kasatkina shone, advancing to the third round and celebrating in a very Australian way.
This is a reward. This is good.
Alex Vukic was no match for a ruthless Yannick Sinner, the top seed conceding just 5 games to the Aussie. While Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz remain the favourites for the men's singles title, don't count out Novak Djokovic, the 38-year-old making short work of local Dan Evans. His 99th win at Wimbledon, not that he's reflecting on a remarkable career just yet.
But I think that's going to come probably when I set the racket aside and then sip margarita on the beach with Federer and Nadal and just reflect on our rivalry and everything.
Chris Hodgkinson, NBN News.
Despite glimpses of form from teen opener Sam Constas, who made 25, and Cam Green, who scored 26, Australia's top order was again largely ineffective on day 1 of the second test against the West Indies. It was left to Bo Webster and Alex Carey to salvage the innings, with Australia eventually bowled out for 286. The Windies are yet to bat. The Jets are 1 week into their first pre-season under coach Mark Milligan, and there's already been key changes. The former Socceroo quickly putting his own stamp on the squad, while also keeping a close eye on the NPL.
Posing for photos at Darling Street Oval, it's not the first time the Jets' new gaffer has been spotted at an NPL venue this season.
I've watched a couple. This week's been a little bit busy, but we've started to identify a few young players.
Making moves to bridge the gap between the local league and the Jets, Mark Milligan will bring last year's NPL Golden Boot Ryan Fuchs into camp on a train and trial basis following his mid-season departure from Edgeworth.
To have him in our environment and to see how he acts and how he reacts in that environment is very, very important.
The former Socceroo's status in Australian football has already landed the Jets 2 big names, Sydney FC's Max Burgess and young Socceroo striker Alex Badalado, both signing 2-year deals.
Yes, we wanted good footballers, but we wanted good people. We wanted people that are going to add to what we're trying to do.
We're being told to expect more signings between now and season kickoff.
We obviously had a couple of early targets that we really wanted to get done, and the sort of the last couple we were very much going to take our time.
And that's not the only thing Jets fans can look forward to.
I have no doubt that as a team we'll be very, very entertaining. We can't just talk about people coming and watching us. It's our responsibility to make sure that we provide a brand of football that makes people want to come out.
Supporters will get their first chance to see Milligan's methods in action on July 30 when his old side Adelaide comes to Maitland for the Australia Cup round of 32.
Thank you, mate. We want to do as well as we can. We want to go as far as we can in the Cup. It's an important part of pre-season and it's a good test for us.
Jack Howard, NBN News.
Jackson Baker is the latest and last hunter surfer eliminated from South Africa's Bolido Pro. The Merriweather board rider knocked out overnight. Baker's first 2 waves were his best, but it wasn't enough to see him through to the next stage. The round of 32 exit, his highest placing in the Challenger Series so far in 2025. He admits it will feel weird, but Kingstar Quatnoy can't wait to face his old Newcastle teammates tomorrow night. The NBL 1 clash between the Falcons and the Sharks will be his first game in the city in 11 years.
Quatnoy back in Newcastle and getting his eye in at the Hoop Dreams Academy.
It's great for Newcastle to have facilities like this for the young generation so they can come in and work on their game. I wish I had it when I was younger too.
He's more used to training on his childhood court, but tomorrow he'll enter Newcastle Basketball Stadium with the away team for the first time in his career.
It's kind of a weird feeling, but I'm going to expect a big crowd tomorrow night and looking forward to playing against my old teammates.
Wanting to stay in Sydney during the Kings off-season, Noy signed with NBL 1 East team Sutherland, knowing it would put him on a collision course with his junior club.
I'll put it on the calendar right away once I sign.
He'll line up against several former teammates, including Falcons captain Miles Cherry.
I grew up playing with them and against them, so I'm pretty familiar with their game, but it's always fun banter.
With Noy averaging 21 points for the Sharks, stopping him will be crucial for Newcastle, which needs a win to keep its season alive.
They have to get that win, so I'm looking forward to them coming in tough, but yeah, we just have to stay composed and hopefully get the job done.
The game tips off at 7:15 p.m. Jack Howard, NBN News.
Tash, it'll definitely be a game to watch.
It'll be huge. Thank you, Tan. Stay with us. We'll check the weather details after the break. The weekend's upon us and the weather has cleared.
The Aussie sisters who created flat-out beds. Now the German giants selling cheap knockoffs. A current affair next.
Breathe fire into your investments with Ramara. Earn 7.6% interest fixed for 12 months.
Good rate.
Hey, what's going on? Get back into it.
Ramara. Cash, credit and real estate funds in the palm of your hand.
What's for dinner? Tuck into tacos or sizzle a stir fry. Make your favourites with any 2 specially marked Coles meat packs for just $15. With thousands of recipes online, what's for dinner? Coles.
Adventure's calling. Time to explore more, camp more, carve around the mountain more, fish more, hike more, get out and hit the trails more. Play more, pay less with our 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda!
The Nick Scali Lounge sale is on now, with up to 50% off leather and fabric lounges for every kind of home. That's affordable design for everyone. On now at Nick Scali.
What a hotel.
Right? And only $370 a night on my favorite site.
What? You didn't check Trivago?
I got mine for $250. You have to check Trivago.
Oh yeah? Prove it.
On Trivago, you can compare hotel prices from multiple different sites.
Even your favorite one.
Yeah, see? Same hotel, $120 less.
You didn't check Trivago?
I didn't check Trivago.
Check Trivago to compare prices and save up to 30%. Hotel Trivago.
Join the adventures of your favourite Disney stars from Frozen, Moana, The Little Mermaid, and for the first time, Encanto. Disney on Ice returns to the Newcastle Entertainment Centre from July 3rd. Book now at Ticketek.
Are you thinking al fresco and looking for something simple? Call HV Aluminium.
Are you looking for something stylish? Call HV Aluminium.
Or are looking for ideas to design something stunning?
If you're thinking al fresco, call or visit HV Aluminium New Lambton, 1800 801 572.
Go Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Hot deals on air fryers, like this Russell Hobbs bestseller. Now only $67, save 50%. Hot deals on hard floor cleaners. Save $70 on this cordless Bissell. Now only $577. Hot deals on washers, like this energy efficient Whirlpool 8 kilo front loader. Now under $600. Hot deals on super king size TVs. This 98-inch Samsung now under $4,000, save over $1,000. Best prices guaranteed. 10 days of deals at Harvey Norman. On now.
Go!
A help company would get people back on their feet, make complicated stuff simple, and even try to predict the unpredictable. So that's what we're doing. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
Sunny skies to end what's been an intense week of weather in the Hunter and Central Coast. We're entering a mostly fine period as school holidays kick off. Cloud has finally cleared the east coast. Elsewhere, there are bands of cloud passing over central parts of the country's south, bringing rain to southwest WA and showers to SA. Tomorrow, showers will continue in those areas in association with a low and a front over the Bight. High pressure will dominate the weather across the rest of Australia, bringing dry and clear conditions. So sunny today throughout the Hunter and Central Coast, allowing us to dry out a bit after the recent downpours. Temperatures were quite comfortable. Lake Macquarie, 20 degrees the maximum. Nobbies, well, it was a cool start, down to 9 degrees, 18 today's top, 18 also at Williamtown and at Maitland. In the valley at Scone, 1 to 18. Murrurundi topped at 11 degrees today. Tomorrow there's a chance of morning fog, then a partly cloudy day to follow. The temperatures looking fairly mild once again, up around the 20-degree mark on the coast at Newcastle. Nelson Bay, Reming Terrace heading for 19, in the valley at Cessnock, 18 degrees on the way. Muswellbrook looking for a range of 1 to 19, and a fairly big temperature swing there too at Gloucester, 4 to 20 degrees. Checking the waters, and large surf conditions are expected to continue, making boating, rock fishing and swimming potentially hazardous. Checking the tides now, we have a morning low at 9:33.72 of a metre, the afternoon high at about 4:30. Looking further ahead, a medium chance of showers on Sunday before a return to mostly fine conditions on Monday. Cool nights in the valley, but those daytime temperatures warming up to about the 20-degree mark. Mostly fine conditions on the central coast as well, settled as we head into the weekend. And that is NBN News for this evening. Current affairs up next, followed by the Bulldogs and the Broncos in Friday night football. From all the team here, have a great weekend. Good night.
Hello, I'm Deb Knight. Welcome to A Current Affair. When we heard Joshua Brown was arrested on 70 sickening child sex charges, one of the burning questions was how? How could someone accused of such a long list of horrendous crimes ever be working with children? Then we found his resume. It reveals childcare centres are not the only places Brown has worked closely with children.
This is what helped Joshua Dale Brown get work at around 20 daycare centres across Melbourne over the last 8 years, including this one, the Creative Garden Early Learning Centre in Point Cook in the city's southwest. This 5-page document has a glowing career history, including endorsements from a number of referees. On paper, he ticks all the boxes of an early childhood educator you would trust with your children. And we've discovered he's been working around young children in a number of sectors for years. This is Dance Network, a Hoppers Crossing dance studio specialising in classes for preschoolers. Their website displays a child safety strategy, including the appointment of a child safety officer. According to his resume, he's worked here since 2016, dealing with parents at the front desk, as well as assisting at local dance competitions and concerts. He was also a regular at nearby Shindo Karate from 2013 to 2017, boasting at being a black belt and weapons instructor. He claims to have helped teach the Little Ninjas and junior classes, which cater to kids aged from 4 to 6. A Current Affair is not suggesting Brown has done anything wrong while employed at either Dance Network or Shindo Karate. But given the ordeal parents at 20 different daycare centres are now going through, Brown's background is a key question for many families.
How has he worked at so many childcare centres? Like, how is he getting around that, you know?
In the 5-page document, he lists his qualifications, including a current working with children's card, and describes himself as someone who loves helping others. He claims that honesty, resilience, integrity and empathy are attributes he brings to any role. Under his employment history, he lists skills like providing a clean and healthy environment for children, keeping records of children's progress, routines and interests, working one-on-one with children with special needs, monitoring the safety of children, assisting with meal times and snack time, helping children keep good hygiene, changing nappies of infants and toddlers, and claims to be a positive influence on the children by setting a good example and interacting with them to nurture their confidence and self-esteem by giving each child individual attention and comfort during the day. The resume also contains a number of referees, people who he presumably thought would speak highly of him and vouch for his work ethic. Those we spoke to today are shocked and sickened by the allegations against Brown. Do you know if your son's affected at all?
No, I don't know yet, yeah. So, yeah, we're going for some tests, so we'll just wait.
This Point Cook father's 3-year-old son attends the childcare centre. Like hundreds more, his family faces an anxious wait for answers. How's your son doing?
He's doing all right, yeah. He's doing all right, yeah. You know, he's little, so...
He doesn't really understand what's going on.
Yeah. So you can't see these things coming, you know. You just hope the government puts, you know, processes and, you know, systems in place to avoid things like this.
Joshua Brown is yet to enter a plea to any of the 70 charges he's facing. He will appear in court in September. Imitation is said to be the highest form of flattery, but not if you're an Aussie business being duped. German giant Aldi is trying to cash in on the success of a sisters startup, selling a copy of their version of a teddy bear at a fraction of the price.
24 years of blood, sweat and tears. People saying, I can't believe Aldi have done this to you.
It's a David and Goliath type scenario. Very close imitation, but it's not the real thing.
It's the Aussie take on a children's bedtime classic.
Hello, pretty girl.
It's to be cuddled and loved, and babies love to snuggle them, lie on them, and sheepskin has these sort of amazing qualities. So it's antibacterial, it's soothing.
They're so beautiful to touch.
They're gorgeous, aren't they? I know, they're so soothing.
And the smell of
the sheepskin.
It's
very tactile.
Yeah.
The flat-out bear, with a loyal following among big names.
I love him.
And everyday families alike.
I know my two kids who are 10 and 7 still sleep with their bears every night.
I like sniffing it in my bed.
I've had kids who have been sick with leukemia who take it into every scan.
He is almost 10 years old like I am.
Yes.
And I love him so much.
People sending photos of how loved their bears are. And, you know, sometimes it's a full bear, and other times like there's not much left.
It's been loved.
It's been loved
to
nearly
within
to
an inch
death.
of its life.
Yes, very much so.
Sisters Prue and Sarah took a leap of faith, launching the business back in 2001.
So when you started, what did you have in the bank to get it off the ground?
I think we had $5,000 each. Yes, to start our business. Really? We're still here every day packing and selling bears, so it's a typical Aussie sort of small family business.
That, with a lot of hard work, has gone from strength to strength.
That's going to Anna in Sweden.
Oh, amazing, okay.
And how many sales do you have a year now?
Well, we're not good at those things. But we have sold, like in 24 years, like over 500,000 bears. So, and we sell, you know, mainly within Australia, but also overseas. It's become a bit of an Aussie icon.
An icon German giant Aldi is now trying to cash in on.
We've just discovered Aldi has released an imitation of our flat-out bear.
The copy first spotted in Aldi's online catalogue.
And then this is the dupe.
That's the dupe.
Yeah, you can tell the quality. It's definitely not as nice to touch.
No.
We were shocked and disappointed, I suppose you could say.
And flattered too, perhaps, that they'd wanted to copy your product.
Well, that's right. We must be doing something right.
And what's the price difference?
Well, it's quite significant. So our flat-out bear retails for around $74. And the Aldi one is
$14.99.
Wow. So a big difference.
A big price difference.
I mean, we understand that, you know, it's tough and it's not a cheap product. Every bear is hand cut, literally with like a knife, and it's hand sewn, made with love, we say.
But love's not enough to protect their business. Borrowed items, or dupes, are a growing problem right around the world. Retail giants like Aldi and Kmart regularly sell copycats for much cheaper than the real thing. And they have the legal backing to know exactly what they can and can't get away with. Trademark lawyer Will Hurd from Davies, Collison and Cave.
Unfortunately, often where the product doesn't have a strong intellectual property right position, there's no intellectual property rights that are protecting that product, it can make it a lot easier for those companies to come in and start copying that product.
For the flat-out bear, only the name and logo are protected. The cost of a global trademark just too high.
I think we were given a price of like $60,000, and you sort of just walk out and go, that's, you know, it was not obviously in our budget.
Once the dust settles, we'll go and see our lawyer again and possibly put money into protecting ourselves moving forward rather than fighting the big guys.
Will you shop at Aldi again?
We do shop at Aldi.
We do shop at Aldi.
Aldi says they source the flat bears from a local supplier and they're not exclusive to their stores. We reached out to the supplier and haven't heard back. Is there anything worse for a footy fan than having high hopes for your team at the start of every season only to have them dashed year after year? And when your team has previously had a rich history of success, things can start to get a little bit ugly.
It's become the AFL version of Les Miserables.
I'm going to burn my membership tonight. This Carlton jersey is gone.
An uprising of the masses. And let's be frank, the Carlton Football Club has long considered itself an aristocracy. Its home ground is Princes Park, and it's situated on Royal Parade.
Well, the board meetings were interesting. In fact, I look back now and just have a bit of a giggle, really, because there's more business deals done in those board meetings, and I'm not a business person and a fair dinkum. I just didn't have a clue what was going on.
Carlton was the fourth of Mick Malthouse's clubs. A one-time foe, he'd become a friend, but not for long.
I found that my parents had a heck of a lot to say. I was astounded how much outside influence there was in trying to get the football club to operate and go one way. There's bits and pieces hanging off everywhere, and that drags you back.
So as Carlton fans arrive at the MCG tonight for their big clash against the Pies, they're asking themselves a question that most people are asking. How did it actually get to this point? How did it become so bad? I mean, Carlton is supported from paupers to prime ministers. That's right, prime ministers. Liberal prime ministers. But the Blues, they don't know what to do. Carlton or Collingwood?
Hawthorn.
Go the Blues! Well, what's happened to them, mate?
I don't know, mate, but we're here to support them tonight, so...
Are you about to cry?
I'm upset, but I'm here.
Sir Robert Menzies was so revered by the club, he was afforded the honour of parking his car inside the ground. Yes, Blue Bagger Bob would watch his beloved team from the comfort of his chauffeur-driven Bentley. Malcolm Fraser was a regular in the Carlton rooms. On the eve of the 81 grand final, Big Mel dangled a carrot. Win the flag and come party at the lodge. They did, and they did.
Some people think that this is an invitation just for the winning team. It's not, it's an invitation for Carlton when Carlton wins. And so there's only one thing to do, win next year and be back here next year.
It's no secret that a couple of players pilfered souvenirs from the lodge, and despite urgings from the Federal Police, not all the stash was returned. Fast forward to 2025, and today's crop of players stand accused of an even greater crime. They can barely steal a goal.
How Carlton would love this to start the term. Not going their way so far this evening. Hooks it and misses.
Carlton fans should have known early that 2025 was going to be one hell of a bumpy ride. In January, club president Luke Sayers had a lewd picture posted on his X account. Despite constant denials the pic was of his own doing, he stepped down as Blues boss. It followed a fine tradition of Carlton presidents either walking out the door or being shown it. At the height of his powers, both in business and politics, John Elliott reigned supreme at Princes Park for 2 decades, only to be booted out in 2002. His name, chiselled from the stand, named in his honour.
No comment today. I'm watching the football today. I hope Carlton win.
Chiquitita, tell me the truth.
The club has had plenty of other heavy hitters in its corner, not least ABBA and the late cardboard king Richard Pratt. Even Dr. Jeffrey Edelson was a benefactor. Of course, this was post Blue Helicopters and Sydney Swans. The club cafe, in fact, is named in his honour. Sadly, the only thing on the menu at the moment seems to be the coach's head.
We have to keep focusing on what's important, but we also acknowledge that there is a frustration and disappointment as well. So we feel that and we hear that.
Michael Voss earned legend status at the Brisbane Lions as a 3-time premiership player.
You little beauty!
But those glory days must seem a lifetime ago, particularly as he prepares to lead his embattled Blues into a lopsided showdown tonight with arch foes and red-hot premiership favourites, Collingwood.
I think it might be time for Michael Voss to go.
I reckon as well. Get rid of him.
With finals all but out of the equation, it seems everyone at Carlton wants the curtain to come down on this year, but unlike Les Mis, no one will be wanting an encore performance.
And for the sake of downtrodden Blues fans, let's hope they can bounce back one more time. Still to come, you may not have heard of them yet, but you will. They're the next generation of business moguls, and some are still at school.
Like, I didn't ever think it would even become a business.
Keep your head nice and still. You know it gets real when you have to winch your patient out.
We're on it, we're getting there.
Okay.
I wouldn't have guessed you were 104.
You did amazing.
Thank you. You're welcome.
New Paramedics, Tuesday on 9 and 9 now.
G'day, I'm Russell Coit. Clearing fallen trees is a part of life in the sticks. Lucky for these show ponies in that flashy new ute, I've come prepared, because there are no shortcuts out here. Except for that one.
Mitsubishi's most capable ute ever. Nothing can frighten a Triton.
10-year warranty. It's almost a decade.
Go Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Capri 4-seater fabric sofa with chaise, adjustable headrests, storage ottoman and sofa bed, just $2,499. Nelson 7-piece dining suite, run-out deal, just $12,999. Amazing value. Sleepmaker Smart Rest Queen mattress, just $7,999. Or the Sealy Posturepedic Acclaim Ashbury Foam Queen mattress, only $14,999. Plus bonus standard local delivery on selected bedding purchases. And up to 30% off our great range of wool rugs. Best prices guaranteed. 10 days of deals at Harvey Norman. On now.
Go!
Try Hungry Jack's new Bacon Gravy Whopper. Flame-grilled Aussie beef, sizzling bacon and rich, rich gravy. Part of the new Aussie Pub Classic range. Cheers, legends. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Don't miss Fantastic Furniture's biggest end of financial year sale. Save big on dining, like the Monaco 4-seater dining table with Leon chairs, or get the Dalkeith 6-seater dining table and matching chairs. Hurry in-store or online. Find your Fantastic.
Let's see if these weekend warriors know what they're doing. Okay, lift her up. Oh, Rod's got my shorts!
Mitsubishi's most capable ute ever. Nothing can frighten a
You've
Triton.
gone too far. Drop it down a bit.
And now, from making bread to saving bread, meet sports nut Rowan, who switched to Yui and saved $772 on his car insurance.
More
Whoa,
bread.
Who gave you those? Shop around. Try Yui.
Yui, you insured.
Here you go, Bob.
At Terry White Chemmart, we've been looking after families for generations. Today, our dedication to care is still the same. The way it's delivered is better than ever.
Toyota.
Experience Warriors of China, now from $1,399 per person, including flights. Immerse in Chinese culture and visit Beijing's historical icons. Witness the Terracotta Warriors, walk the Great Wall and more. Search Tripper Deal now.
The Plush mid-season sale is on now, with up to 40% off selected leather and fabric sofas, recliners and armchairs. Save up to 40% off at the Plush mid-season sale. On now.
Think Selfless, think Plush.
Go Harvey Norman. Shop mobiles and computers with no deposit 36 months interest-free on a participating Latitude credit card and get a bonus gift card up to $400. Update your tech with no deposit 36 months interest-free from Latitude and get a bonus $50 gift card for every $500 you spend. New customers must be approved. Minimum financed amount $500. T's and C's, charges and exclusions apply. Equal monthly payment plan and monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. Don't miss no deposit 36 months interest-free from Latitude at Harvey Norman now.
Go!
Welcome back. Starting a business is hard, so imagine doing it when you're 10. Business moguls are getting younger and younger. And to find out the secret, we sat down with 3 superstars doing it their way.
It looks like just a whole lot of fun. But in today's world, this is how big business is done. Whoa! Australians are coming up with million-dollar ideas, and these entrepreneurs are in their teens, their 20s and their 30s, and they're just getting started.
Now we're doing 10 to 20 hours of brand new content every week across 9 different channels.
We want to do workshops all around Australia.
How fun, you get to make a cupcake and a cake.
So in 2025, we're predicting around 800 tonnes of pistachio papi imported from Italy, which is insane.
At 10 years old, Jordan Barclay didn't know he'd launched a multi-million-dollar business. At 11, Sienna Grimmer had already forged a future in slime. And at 33, Mark Abdul-Malik took a risk on a spread so tasty there'd be lines out the door.
It's definitely been a hustle. It's definitely been a hustle.
With a little bit of hustling and a lot of hard work, these young CEOs are doing it their way.
My speciality is knowing what people want to watch.
Now 22 years old, Jordan's been a leader in the world of YouTube for more than a decade.
So I started when I was 10 years old in 2012. I lived in Bendigo. The internet speed was less than a kilobit upload. So when I uploaded a video to YouTube, it would take maybe a week.
From 4 walls in country Victoria to his live-action studios in Collingwood, Spawn Point Media, spawned by a 10-year-old, is now one of the largest YouTube networks in Australia.
I was doing everything. I would wake up 6 a.m. before school, work, go to school, come back, work again, film on the weekends. It was pretty full on, and now I actually only work 9 to 5.
Now, Jordan employs 100 staff, has a loyal following of 20 million online, and travels the world making videos.
I can become king! I got to live in King Henry VIII's castle when we were working with ASUS to promote their new Lenovo laptops.
If you didn't recognise this young gun's name or face, it might be because of your age. Jordan's famous among tweens.
When I was growing up, frankly, on the internet, there's a lot of dangerous stuff. There still is, and my parents wouldn't let me watch anything. Our mission is to create safe and engaging content for youth and families.
Never underestimate my feet.
But for this 18-year-old director, it's out with the screens and in with the slime. Sienna's mission is to entertain kids with their own 10 fingers and thumbs.
They spend less time on their iPads or on the TV and they play with slime instead, so they love it.
In just 7 years, Sienna and her family have grown out of their home garage and into a factory in Melbourne. A factory this teenager bought with her own profits.
We do hundreds of orders a week, so we go through a lot of slime.
At Sienna's Slime HQ, they go through about 100 kilos of non-toxic glue a week to make all the colours of the rainbow.
So we have like bubblegum, birthday cake, cookie dough. We've got a few fruity smells as well.
Between mixing slime and writing school essays, Sienna won't be going to university. She'll be travelling the country, hosting slime parties for kids instead.
We host up to 6 parties a weekend. We could do more, but I like to host all of them to make sure they're all perfect.
Do you find that girls gravitate to Sienna slime more than boys?
Yeah, the girls love it, but the boys secretly love it.
They secretly love it. And for a slime novice like me...
Oh, we could put this in here. Look at that creation.
It's addictive.
I didn't ever think it would even become a business.
For Mark, venturing into the unknown in his 30s took guts. But when the product tastes as good as it looks, the risk was worth it.
When we did launch Pistachio Papi back in 2023, we sold out in 4 minutes.
No one loves pistachios quite like Mark.
It's like a green version of Nutella.
It was Mark's weakness for the Italian confectionery spread that led to the birth of Pistachio Papi.
We would have pistachio croissants, pistachio donuts, cannolis in Italy, and I come back from Italy and I come back to Australia and it's almost impossible to find. So I noticed there was a bit of a gap in the market when it came to pistachio spreads.
With business partners Chris and Pat, the Papi has spread its wings from independent supermarkets to Woolworths in just 2 years.
It's a product we've always dreamt about having it in everyone's pantry at home and a product they can share with family and friends.
But it's been Pistachio Puppy's marketing
2, 4, 6, 8.
that's really kept tongues wagging.
We tend to do things a bit more loud and cheeky.
Their unorthodox approach to selling the $12 jars has only boosted their cult following.
We have people flying from Sydney, Perth, Queensland just to buy a jar of Pistachio Puppy, which is insane.
They're the boss boys and girls turning fun into a 9 to 5.
Yeah, all very smart cookies. Might have to give my own kids a bit of a nudge. Coming up, are you looking for your next getaway? This is Australia's best kept secret until now.
You know, a lot of people that come here, they walk away and say that they've really had an unexpected experience.
Anaconda's epic Stocktake Payless sale is on now. Gear up for the great outdoors with unmissable deals, like 40% off snow gear by Shoot. Pay less so you can play more during Anaconda's Stocktake sale.
Join the adventures of your favourite Disney stars from Frozen, Moana, The Little Mermaid, and for the first time, Encanto. Disney on Ice returns to the Newcastle Entertainment Centre from July 3rd. Book now at Ticketek.
So, Robbo's dropping by later.
DeBricky.
Isn't he a mountain climber?
He's the real Iron Man.
He drives a BT50, right? Yeah.
I'm snapping nice, saying cheese, so they get inspired. How about that?
Australians are switching off to save on energy costs when many could be switching to a better deal.
You'd be better off comparing and switching energy providers.
Dad!
Seeing the light now?
It pays to compare.
G'day, I'm Russell Coit. Clearing fallen trees is a part of life in the sticks. Like you for these show ponies in that flashy new ute, I've come prepared, because there are no shortcuts out here. Except for that one.
Mitsubishi's most capable ute ever. Nothing can frighten a Triton.
10-year warranty. It's almost a decade.
Try Hungry Jack's new Storm with Nutella. Delicious soft serve with irresistible creamy hazelnut Nutella and crunchy wafer crumb. Storm with Nutella. Sharing optional. Only at Hungry Jack's.
The Nick Scali Lounge sale is on now, with up to 50% off leather and fabric lounges for every kind of home. That's affordable design for everyone. On now at Nick Scali.
We can see more of the world than ever. With Bridgestone Tech Check, you see what needs repairing now and what can wait, so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
Go Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Capri 4-seater fabric sofa with chaise, adjustable headrests, storage ottoman and sofa bed, just $2,499. Nelson 7-piece dining suite, run-out deal, just $12,999. Amazing value. Sleepmaker Smart Rest Queen mattress, just $7,999. Or the Sealy Posturepedic Acclaim Ashbury Foam Queen mattress, only $14,999. Plus bonus standard local delivery on selected bedding purchases. And up to 30% off our great range of wool rugs. Best prices guaranteed. 10 days of deals at Harvey Norman. On now.
Go!
Well, girls and boys, it's been another very exciting day for our friend Big Dog. Lots of adventure and fun for everyone. But now it's time for Big Dog to say goodnight. Good night, Big Dog. Good night, girls and boys. Sweet dreams.
We just didn't think it was ever going to happen to us.
Once he was charged, was he removed?
No.
Suspended?
No.
Kept on base?
Yes.
Was he supported?
Yes.
Were you supported?
No.
Some say it's more dangerous for a woman on base with her male colleagues than it is on deployment. Do you believe that?
An explosive.
Yes.
60 minutes.
Tomorrow night, the small town with international city vibes.
It's Australia's unlikely new holiday hotspot.
They come from all over.
There's, as we said, 300 days of sunshine a year.
So hot. Lemmy's flying in. Plenty are, Lemmy.
We're seeing more and more tourists coming.
Where could it be?
Find out tomorrow. And that's our program. I'm Deb Knight. Thanks for your company. From the team, enjoy your evening. Good night.
Queenslanders never say die. Ever.
The Queenslanders are up and about now.
OK, Wally. Let's see how you go in Sydney.
This program brought to you by Telstra, wherever we go. Macca's new McWings. The new Ford Ranger Hybrid, electric for the real world. Westpac, bringing the footy. Yui, everyone on our team is on yours. And Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices, guaranteed.
Welcome to Accor Stadium in Sydney, where in just 5 days' time, the Blues and the Maroons hit the field for the epic conclusion to the 2025 State of Origin Series, which of course you can see exclusive live and free right here on 9 and 9 Now. Tonight though, Friday night footy features second versus fifth, the Bulldogs and the Broncos. And last time they met, it was the Broncos taking the points, so can the Doggies get things back on track as they celebrate the club's 90th season. Of course, this is a milestone year for more reasons than one at Canterbury as the Blue and White Army welcome a women's team to the family club, and in among the NRLW's newest franchise is a surname many Dogs fans will be familiar with.
Jim Dimmock, a tower of strength in many ways.
With the last name Dimmock, rugby league has always been my world. And the Bulldogs have always been my team. I had my favourites, every girl does, but my dad was my hero.
Look at that defence from Canterbury.
I wish I could be half the player he was.
Get to the wing! Beautiful pass! Dimmock gets it down! Terry Lamb! Jim Dimmock! Dimmock's over the line!
He'd talk about playing with Terry Lamb. That's a big deal around here. But most importantly, he'd talk about how the Bulldogs were a family. Now I know what that means.
Jim would have enjoyed that one.
We're always reminded of the
No doubt about it. Congratulations on your first win for the club team. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see plenty more, Brace. How good are they?
Good on you, Alana. Love it. Family affair, big time. Dimmock as well. Of course, the NRLW season alive and well in 2025. Make sure you tune in for Nine's doubleheader tomorrow. What about this? Broncos, Tigers, followed by the Raiders and the Dragons, and it all wraps up on Saturday night action with the Cowboys and the Titans in the Queensland Derby. Every match of NRLW right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports for yet another great season. Andrew Johns, Brad Fielder, evening fellas.
Hey Bryce.
James. On to the men's match here tonight. Brad, the last time these two teams met went the Broncos' way. Doggies on a mission in front of their home crowd here tonight.
Yeah, they scored 42 points on them. The Doggies had 3 blokes in, and this was actually their first game
out of Sydney. Leading up to this game, they hadn't been beaten and they just hadn't been scored against. But all the teams that they played were also sitting out of the 8 as well at the moment. They've got a real lesson here. 3 Simbin, 42 points. Selwyn Cobbo played fullback that night. So it'll be interesting how they react to that.
You mentioned, Brad, how defensively the Bulldogs were going. Up until that loss, they were conceding, Joey, as you can see there, less than 10 points a game. Was there a cheat code found by the Broncos in that match? Because they've been leaking points ever since.
Well, Freddie spoke about it. They didn't play any of the real top teams there. And, during that year, you get players who are carrying injuries mid-year. You get players lose a bit of form, will contribute. But I think mainly they'll play in teams above them.
And since then, also, that game, they've had plenty of blokes suspended. They had about 5 blokes in a month suspended for a long period. So that doesn't help.
Now, for our viewers that regularly watch Bulldogs matches here on 9, you'll hear this bloke so often saying, "Come on, Birdo, give us the torpedo bomb." So, Andrew, we thought tonight we'd head out onto the patch out there. Matt Burton will be out there, hopefully, kicking a couple, and you're going to show us how it's done. Brad?
Who's catching?
You're playing ball kick.
Yeah, I'm catching. I'll be Selwyn Cobbo.
Get down.
And it's greasy out here tonight, Andrew. You haven't got the studs on.
Here we go. I'll go up here.
All right, so run us through the technique.
Right,
we'll walk over to
I'm kicking straight. Kids at home, this will only cost you $1,000 an hour for this lesson. Imagine kicking towards the clock. You're kicking straight down to Uncle Freddie.
Yep.
Put the ball towards 1 o'clock, turn your shoulders to 11. And when you hit the ball, you're going to point it up in 45 degrees and hit it on the outside lace. Jeez, I hope I don't.
Here we go.
You've got me nervous.
He's talked this up.
Yeah, give me another one.
Right, another one. Here he goes. Competitive Andrew. Wants a redo. Gotta love it.
Righto, here we go, Freddie.
Come on, mate. Get it up.
There it is.
There he is.
There it is.
Drop.
How's
Drop.
the ball kid going to go?
Yeah, one more. Yeah, one more. I got no one. Hope this hits him right on the nose.
Head down, mate. Head down.
How are those hemis, Andrew?
Pop guns now.
Right.
There you go. Here it comes.
Here we go.
Here we go.
That's a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Got it, baby. Oh, the neck. Not the neck. All right, we're done.
The neck. Compo.
Can anyone else in the game kick it like Birdo can, though?
Off the top of my head, we've got players who can nail him, but Birdo hits him. When he hit one Origin over in Perth,
yep.
Kalen was underneath it. He didn't get within 10 metres. Where is he?
Here come the doggies.
Birdo,
better get out of
come
the way.
Mate. Couple of torps tonight. He gave me the heads up, so get ready.
Thanks, Uncle Andrew, for the masterclass of how to get those Birdo torpedo bombs. A little earlier, the man himself caught up with Emma.
Matt Burton, we know you love those torpedo bombs. Joey was just giving it a go. Do you think we'll see any tonight?
Yeah, might have to pull out a few tonight. We'll see how we go. But, yeah, I know Joey's out there practicing now, so I'll have to get a few tips off him, I reckon.
You reckon you can do them better than Joey?
Oh, I don't know. He's a bit of an OG back in the day, so I don't know.
What about Ezra and Adam Reynolds in great form at the moment? What's the key to minimising their impact?
Yeah, obviously their kicking game's a big one for them, so minimising them, getting kick pressure on them and making it hard for them tonight. That's an area that we need to focus on, but yeah, we've got to go there and do it, and yeah, it's definitely a big part of their game.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Over to you, Marley.
Adam Reynolds, your side has seen some great improvement in the last couple of weeks. You really look like you're enjoying that halves pairing with Ezra Mam. Is that do you bring the success down to?
I think just time being on the park together. Little mate's back and he's brought a lot of energy, and you know, when the energy's up and the boys playing good footy, it makes my job a lot easier.
The last time you faced the Bulldogs, you did get on top of them, but you know it's going to be a tough task tonight. How do you keep them out?
Yeah, defensively we need to be good. We need to be squeaky clean with the ball. Missing our Origin boys tonight, so a bit of punch up front, but exciting times for some other blokes to get an opportunity, and you know, there's a real buzz around the group. So they're going to be a tough challenge. We know that. They're playing some great footy, led by some quality halves. So yeah, it makes for a good night.
Thanks, Adam. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Over to you, James.
Thank you very much, Marley. Well, after the break, Joey and Freddie will run their eye over Wednesday's massive State of Origin decider. The Blues and the Maroons, it's all on the line right here at Accor Stadium. How good. Plus, we're going to chat with Broncos coach Michael Maguire, and big news out of the Bulldogs camp tonight. Cameron Ciraldo has brought the changes. You're watching Friday Night Footy, the Doggies and the Bronx, and you're about to witness it live and free on 9 and 9 Now.
At Sportsbet, we're proud supporters of those who have a crack at going the extra mile for a fresh Turkish hairline. Nice upgrade, fellas. Those brave souls who have a crack at something other than butter chicken. That's courage. This genius is having a crack at folding a fitted sheet. Yep, nailed it. And remember, you wouldn't even be here if your mum didn't have a crack at your dad. Smooth, Cheryl. And when this punter wants to have a crack at the footy, he uses the Sportsbet app. Fast and easy. Sportsbet, proud supporters of having a crack.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
New Ranger Hybrid. Off-roads like a Ranger. With full-time four-wheel drive and 697 Newton metres of torque. New Ranger Hybrid. Order yours today.
Anaconda's epic stocktake Payless sale is on now. Gear up for the great outdoors with unmissable deals, like up to 40% off tents by Coleman. Pay less so you can play more during Anaconda's stocktake sale.
Pups, prepare for takeoff. It's the all-new Pup Squad Adventure Bay Airport. Humdinger's stuck. Oh, go Chase, go. We did it! Now launch and fly high to the rescue. New Pup Squad Adventure Bay Airport comes as shown, adult assembly required. Additional items sold separately.
Introducing Ruby Space Triangles, the clever hanging device that fits over most hangers to save you wardrobe space in seconds. Now you can vertically hang multiple items and create up to 70% more space. Buy now at these leading retailers.
The Nick Scali Lounge sale is on now, with up to 50% off leather and fabric lounges for every kind of home. That's affordable design for everyone. On now at Nick Scali.
Advance. It's a word shaping a way of life.
And coal, metals and minerals like those mined by Glencore help to make it possible.
Coal for electricity
can help us never miss a big game moment.
New Ranger Hybrid. Tows like a Ranger with 3.5 tonne capacity and 697 Newton metres of torque. New Ranger Hybrid. Order yours today.
Get dirty. Get salty. Get adventurous. Get to O'Neill's Tyre and Auto Care for the legendary open country range from Toyo Tyres and go where others simply can't. Because if you've got wheels, you need O'Neill's.
Deliver more with the world's #1 forklift brand. Get Toyota's legendary reliability. Get world-leading safety. Get more uptime. And give your business the Toyota forklift advantage.
Get the job done right every time with Taylor's Outdoor Power Equipment. Get the biggest brands and the best products from the experts, plus accessories, parts and service and repairs. So get into one of Taylor's 3 big locations or go online today.
Block drains? Don't stress. Fluid Plumbing will dispatch a plumber to you the same day when you call before midday. With our high-pressure blaster and remote camera, we'll clear your block drain for just $99. Block drains cleared fast.
Give us a call today.
You say you love McMuffins so much. And yet, you choose McCafe's delicious new blend first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. The travel guides are going full turbo in San Francisco. Help! Superman! Sunday at 7.
Pre-match, brought to you by Macca's new McWings. Peak chicken is upon us.
Well, just when you think it couldn't get any bigger or better, Beanie for Brain Cancer Round, a resounding success. And well done to Mark Hughes. All the volunteers helping out the foundation, making over $3.5 million in their 9th year. Of course, all going in the fight to kill off that insidious disease that is brain cancer. And you can still head to the Mark Hughes Foundation website Scan that QR code and donate today. The Bravos, anyone that bought a beanie donated, and you still got your chance to do just that. Right now, of course, if you're coming here to a core, pack your beanie, it'll be chilly. The conditions are looking great. But what's set to be, Brad, a blockbuster decider here. On paper, the two teams, every Blues fan is saying it should be a New South Wales win. But Queensland bringing two key changes. Josh Papali'i returns and Kevin Shibasaki gets his debut.
Well, Papali'i brings the experience and also brings some great form. He's been playing awesome for Canberra. Shibasaki, I think what it does to it adds to the inexperience in the centres. New South Wales hasn't been able to get the ball to Latrell or Stephen. Stephen Crichton didn't do anything in game 2. When Latrell got the ball, they ended up setting up 3 tries down that side. So they've just got to find a way to get early ball to the centres and at least test these young blokes and see what they can do under the pressure of the night.
1 through 17, Joey, the Blues unchanged.
Yes.
You happy with that?
Yeah, this team's been together for a few years. You debuted a few of them, Freddie. It's a really strong team. Look, in game 2, they were awful. The first half gave 7-8 penalties away the opening 43 minutes in awful conditions. They came back in the second half and scored 4 tries, unanswered tries. If they kick a couple of goals, they win the game. Dry track out here next Wednesday. If they get it right, as Freddie spoke about, the strike on the edge. If we can get the ball to Latrell and Stephen Crichton and Angus Crichton and Liam Martin, I don't think they can handle it. But if they've got to do the hard work, they've got to fix up their discipline, their ball handling. But if the game opens up and they get an even share of possession, there's some points in New South Wales.
Now, here at home, Brad, we're so used to the walk from the centre of excellence out here onto the pitch. And it sounds like Laurie Daly said, no,
what?
Going old school, going to get a bus.
I think he's nervous. He's gone back over all the games, and to be fair, we haven't started that great. Like, I know personally coming through in after the team, what it does to your adrenaline and the rush you get. Then you've actually got about 10 minutes on the ground through national anthems and all the stuff you've got to do pre-game entertainment. So I can understand it. I don't like it that much. I think it's part of the entertainment, something that we should get used to doing. But he's made sure he looked at the past. It hasn't worked that well. So I'm backing you, Loz. Whatever you say, mate. Whatever you say.
The little 1%ers. He's putting his own stamp on it for State of Origin Decider right here, exclusive, live and free. The man at the helm of the Blues' successful series last year, Michael Maguire, now the boss of the Broncos. Let's hear from him ahead of tonight's big match.
Michael Maguire, your squad looks a little bit different tonight with a few players out for State of Origin. It gives Selwyn Cobbo an opportunity to be at fullback. What do you expect from him tonight?
Yeah, I think it gives a number of us opportunity for a few of the boys. So Sel will come in and do his job. Looking forward to him being back in and doing what he does. But I think the fact that we've got a few boys coming in, it's quite exciting.
The last time you faced the Bulldogs, you actually handed them their first loss of the season. They'll be a tough task tonight, but how do you hope to do that again?
Yeah, probably similar to what we did. We're going to have to be well connected across the park, and defensively we're going to have to be strong. So we know what we're facing, and we're really looking forward to the challenge.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Marley.
Over to you, Emma.
Thank you so much, Marley. Well, Alana, we have had torrential rain here in Sydney all week, but how do you think this surface is holding up considering?
I think it's in pretty good nick. Have a look at those conditions. It was horrendous, wasn't it? And you can't even really see the wind in that, but the playing field, the surface tonight, I think it's absolutely fine for footy, and we've even got more time under our belt before the big one next Wednesday. So play on here at a core.
Great crowd. We always have a great crowd here, and that's probably a big part of the reason why the Doggies have had a good record at a core this year.
Oh, they have, haven't they? They've won 4 from 5 here at a core, but I think it's the home fans. They love turning up. They've done a great job this year at supporting their club. I think the kennel's going to go off tonight because there aren't many Broncos jerseys in the crowd, but they haven't beat the Broncos here at a core since 2019. So I'm sure they'll be coming out ready to knock that one off.
We are hearing there's some big news and big changes coming out of the Bulldogs camp this evening. So let's hear from their coach now. Cam Ciraldo is with Marley Silva.
Cameron Ciraldo, it was a real battle last week against Penrith. How did the squad pull up after that?
Yeah, they pulled up great. They're learned some lessons and excited about the challenge tonight.
But there's a couple of late changes in this side. Lachlan Gavin will be starting and pushing Matt Burton to the centres. Could you tell us about that choice?
Yeah, obviously with Carraz going into New South Wales camp, we're just sort of a bit light on outside backs, and we did some things at train early in the week, and Birdo put his hand up to play in the centres, which he's done many times before. So, yeah, real team first attitude from Birdo, and I think those guys will both get a fair bit of the footy tonight.
Good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cameron Ciraldo there with Marley. As we have a look at how both sides line up, some minor changes for the Brisbane side, but Brad, as we heard there, a raft of changes for this Canterbury team, and most notably, Lockie Galvin in the halves with Toby Sexton.
Well, it's only a matter of time. I think you'll find Toby Sexton will do all the kicking and lead them around. They've brought him on. What also having Burton in the centres, he'll be up against Katoni Staggs. Katoni Staggs has been the most dynamic player for the Brisbane Broncos.